My goodness, we're live, boys and girls.
You poor people, we're live.
I don't know what we're going to do today, but we have. Who do we have? Are there 4 of us?
There's one of me.
I never count myself.
I think I am.
I don't know. Could be. Anyway, let's see. Today's show picture was inspired by John Maddox and his entry into the field of astrophysics. And the donkey is Maddox. Let's see. Today's somebody's playing their thing. It's got to be Scott.
Not for very long. And I thought I was muted, so I had good intentions.
Oh, you thought you were muted. Yeah. Well,
John Peterson was in the chat for a second.
He was. I don't know. I sent him an invite. I believe I sent him an invite. Sent a whole bunch of people an invite today. I always forget people. I think I forgot Top Dog today. I don't know. I always forget somebody. But
I wonder if Ian Chen is out there playing with his beautiful little daughter.
Well, he keeps sending me pictures and videos. It's pretty cool. It's doing okay. Let's see. The live after show. Let me see. Let me unmute that. Put on some headphones. So, John Maddox did a tremendous stream. Well, first of all, tonight, David Neff has a birthday party. But tonight at 7 o'clock, I don't know if we're going to record it or do it live, but Dessel Drace and I, and possibly Immutable, are going to be talking about abiogenesis and philosophy of science. A little bit of Popper and stuff. And what else is going on? We had, Dr. Dan cracked the code that Maddox put out. Now Maddox seems to be upping the requirements of getting the $500.
Isn't that weird how that happens?
Yeah, that's weird how that happens. And so I really doubt that $500 exists. He would have to start a GoFundMe to get raise that $500 to pay Dr. Dan. So Dr. Dan probably ain't going to see it, but it'd be interesting to see what the solution to the code was.
Yeah, it exists somewhere in the fever dream of a YouTube hero or something in his own mind.
And Amy Newman.
Amy Newman's here?
No.
Oh,
she has a midnight ranting atheism v Christianity, and I don't know if it's a regular or not, but it might be.
I caught part of that, and I don't know if it's regular or ad hoc.
Yeah.
Or not, but yeah, sometimes I'd like to get in on that, but you know, it's late, and usually I have to work.
Yep.
Or have somewhere else to be the next day. So
David Neff's 26th birthday party is at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
On David Neff's channel.
I didn't get him anything.
I know I didn't either. So he's
I was just at the convenience store too. I could have bought him something. Hey, there's hyena number 4.
4, yeah.
I didn't have my reading glasses on. And Jerry Penna, I know it's a rookie mistake, but I never claimed to be a professional. I am a non-professional YouTube person without a personality. I'm an unprofessional YouTube non-personality.
And you live in Texas.
That's right. We're 37 degrees today.
Ooh, heat wave.
Yeah. I thought it was staying under freezing all day, but no, turns out we're going to be up to 40 today.
Yeah, we're slowly climbing out of the sub-zero, but I think we're going to drop down to 0 again tonight. Then it's going to start to warm up. We'll be in the 30s and 40s by end of the week.
Nathan, how are you doing over there in sunny Texas, somewhere else in Texas? You're muted if you're responding.
Who is?
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan. Nathan, I thought was further east.
Yep. No, I'm in Texas right now.
You are?
Yeah. I just went outside plowing some of the snow from the front door. I've been inside this whole time. And yeah, it's up there. It's up there today. As far as
all all the gas stations and convenience stores look like they've been descended upon by marauding barbarians or something.
Yeah, what the hell?
But they had bugles, so I was saved by the bugles.
Saved by the bugles.
Now I was telling Speed that I got my second dose of COVID-19 today, and I'm not going to. There's a microchip in it, but right now my laptop is turned off, and so is my wireless router.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
He's Bluetooth discoverable.
That's right. That's right. A couple of hipsters near Starbucks were using me for their Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah. So now the other thing that's going on is James Tour is going bonkers with all of these episodes. He's doing like a 13-part series again. Okay. Professor Dave did a comeback video on James Tour about 3-4 months ago, and James Tour has been like steaming and stewing ever since, and he came up with like a 13-part comeback, and here's all his different he's up to episode 5 now, and the creationists are just just high-fiving and creaming their jeans over this shit. It's just like they're going nuts. Oh, wait a minute. No. Okay, he's got a 0. He's got an episode 0. And then he's got Illuminating the Fog. So anyway, James Tour is going nuts. We got lots of reviewing to do there. He had one paper that he posted from, I think it was from 2011 or something about they found that the Earth was less reducing. Early Earth had, I guess there was more oxygen in the atmosphere than they previously thought. And that was his slam dunk comeback on methane production is impossible or some damn thing. But anyway, he only had 1 or 2 papers in the first video, but he's got some others. So this, I suppose, we're going to have to look into at some point. But I think that expression he's showing there kind of tells you everything you need to know about James Tour. He needs an anger management class, and he also needs to smile more. He needs to go out and look at the flowers, and enjoy God's green world a little more, because the dude is a little too serious. So we have that, and then the only other thing we got is Maddox's unbelievable fucking marathon he did last night, where Danny was there, sucking creationist dick for about 2 hours.
Wasn't he like that on like 2 full episodes of Sal's channel as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so when he gets around, obviously he wants to talk to lots of people.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that, I guess. He's the social butterfly of social media.
He is. And Maddox points out how he's got 100,000 citations, and he's a hell of a chemist, and he is a hell of a chemist, but he's not an abiogenesis researcher. And
right.
To be an when I was going through that paper today and looking at the 7 pages of linked papers and started downloading the linked papers, which each had another 3 pages each of linked papers, I realized that in order to know what the hell you're talking about abiogenesis, you would have to devote your entire life 24/7 to just that subject.
And that's just off of Deemer's paper?
That's off, yeah. That's just going from Deemer's paper outward. And
yeah. You have to, I guess, put the brakes on at some point with this infinite regress of papers, paper.
I know. And the worst thing is when the bottom one refers back to the top one.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen, but when it does, you end up in a Vinda loop. I don't know if you watch South Park.
Actually, I don't recall that from South Park.
You don't?
But I don't watch much South Park just because I don't. Is that on Comedy Central now still, or?
I'm not sure. They run them on Hulu too. So.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I guess I could watch it on Hulu, but I have other things I like to watch. And then if I'm going to read papers, one when you have TV going, at least for me, that's not very conducive to reading papers.
But the Vindaloop episode is absolutely fantastic. It's about virtual reality, and they call customer service, and I think his name is Vindu or something in India, and he gets stuck in a Vindaloop. That's pretty awesome. Oh, that's the one episode where they have real characters play the South Park kids.
Interesting. Real actors or real
actors? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vindaloop. So, do you know what year, what episode, or?
Shit, it must have been about 5 years ago or something. I think you call it the South Park Vindaloop episode. We cannot play it on this fucking channel because, man, they're mean. A copyright strike like crazy. Okay, is it Grounded Vindaloop? South Park Vindaloop explain. Okay, it's season 18, episode 7. It's
18
called,
and 7.
Yeah. Okay. There's Vindaloop customer service. Okay. Oh fuck. Pretty sure that's the one. I think there was only one episode that was Vindaloop. So, but yeah, definitely watch Vindaloop. It's fucking excellent. I have to. I had to go Camp Mike here and do some work. Default. Guys, can I hear you?
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can hear you.
Yeah, but shit, I'm still hearing you through my monitor. Keep trying.
Wonderful production values today.
Nothing. Son of a bitch.
Dang it. Did you charge it?
Hang on a second.
It better be something other than not charging.
Shit. We're screwed now, boys and girls. We're really screwed. Okay, now I can hear you again.
Very good.
But my Bluetooth's not working. Is it because you're on and you're
I'm not at liberty to say.
Because you got the chip?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay. Let me see if I can try this
But
again.
don't say anything or even think anything that the NSA doesn't want to hear.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
Now they're working. Hey, we're good. That's cool. We can actually do this. Anyway, so I just listened to, I just tuned in randomly on part of the stream, and I was fucking amazed to hear Maddox talking about how the formation of stars. And their idea is that God created all the stars, and then he stuck the light in the universe or something so that it got to us at the right time or something like that. But anyway, give this a listen.
I'm sorry, but I cannot.
I can't.
This is just me. I do not find the plausibility of an innumerable number of stars all somehow managing to form correctly with the precise physics requirements that are necessary for the pressure, the gravity, pressure, the explosive force, everything being perfectly balanced in order to maintain ongoing fusion. I don't buy this. I don't buy it. Just cloud.
What the heck?
Okay, he must have been out driving and contemplating, and he can't believe, he doesn't think it's plausible that all those stars could form just perfectly the way they make.
It's too bad Leo's not here. He was in the chat, but I think there's a thing called gravity, and that's pretty much it, right? You have
pretty much
hydrogen, and they just kind of gather together in the absence of stronger gravity, and they clump together. And okay,
there's also static forces too.
Calling Leo.
Dang it! There's never a Leo when you need one.
I know.
And the pictures.
And the video that they're showing. Add anything to it? I just like his reaction to ridiculous physics mishandling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the video that they're showing is videos of people using their cameras to see through an atmosphere the stars. So the atmosphere bubbling is causing these effects, or refracting and stuff. And then the focus is not there either. So then you have a blurry photo.
I'm not sure what they were talking about before, but let's listen to the rest of what the astrophysicist, the newly formed astrophysicist John Maddox.
All magically collapse into the appropriate exact forces that are necessary for stars to form per their model. And it to happen an innumerable number of times successfully. But here's the thing, because if you failed, it should supernova. If it doesn't all balance out correctly, it should explode.
Chris, take care. I'm attending to Mom. God bless you, sir.
Leo.
Hang on a minute.
Like your haircut, sir.
I fucked up.
Yeah, it was getting long. It needed to be cut.
Looks nice, Leo.
That way it's cut for spring. No, I don't know. I was listening, but I had to do something, so I couldn't join right away. Yeah, I don't know what Maddox is going on about. He's acting like you need all these perfectly balanced forces and just
right
star, and you don't. You just need a massive cloud of cold molecular gas and gravity and time. Like, that's it. Why do you think stars are so abundant in the universe? Like
gravity.
Seriously? Like, I mean, these people. This is go, please, for the love of fucking God, go learn some general relativity. The world would be a better place if people.
You don't even need that
relativity.
Just go.
Wait a minute. Apparently, according to astrophysicist Otangelo Grasso, the gravity does not act upon gases.
Oh,
yes, it does.
Where did he say that?
Mass. It's literally. He says gravity does not act on gases. That's false. Otangelo, what do you think is holding Earth's atmosphere, which is made of gas, to the Earth? It's you guessed it.
Magic.
Gravity.
And the other planets that are the main gas planets.
What Jupiter, which is a gas giant, all that gas that surrounds the rocky core, why is that there? Why is that not flying off into space? Gravity. If it has mass, it has gravity.
Well, no, Maddox thinks if a star isn't just the exact perfect balance, that it will supernova.
Yeah, he doesn't know what a supernova is.
I know.
It is true. It is true that stars have a balance between the gravity pushing inward and the energy from thermonuclear fusion pushing outward.
After they're formed.
That doesn't mean that stars aren't stable.
You know what else Maddox doesn't know how to do? Pay people when they solve one of his puzzles. Because apparently he has no money.
Yep. He's a grifter. We know that. But anyway, I don't think he goes too much for it. I screwed up, so I'm not sure where I am.
Buy this. I do not buy that just clouds all magically collapse into the appropriate exact forces that are necessary for stars to form per their model. And it to happen an innumerable number of times successfully. But here's the thing, because if you failed, it should supernova.
What the fuck?
If it doesn't all balance out correctly, it should explode. So where the heck is the evidence for all the failed stars forming?
I think that's why they posit that these are second-gen stars, but then it's like, how did the first ones? Yeah, it's problematic. Can I read a verse?
Yeah, okay. So now he's going to read a verse from the Bible to help us understand astrophysics.
We know what failed stars are. They're called brown dwarfs. We can even go smaller than that and find failed stars like Jupiter.
Yeah, and there's some... they found some planets where basically shit came together and fission never happened, or fusion never happened. So they found these dark planets out in the middle of nowhere without a star. They found a few of those too. But I mean, there are so many different varieties of stars, and John thinks that there's only one particular perfect formula for a star to form, and he is just to show you what kind of, and then. It isn't that. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. His ignorance is not the problem. It's the absolute fucking confidence that he has that he's smarter than astrophysicists when he doesn't even know the first thing about the classes of stars. And the
Yeah, if I
star
asked him
formation.
what the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram is, he couldn't tell me. Anyway, you should highlight Maddox or Grasso's most recent comment.
Oh, what did he say now?
Might have to scroll up just a
Well, now
small
we do
amount.
have a statement by
So,
Doubting Thomas.
This is completely fucking wrong. Like, this statement is so wrong that it's embarrassing. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the next page. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All these papers, scholarly articles on stellar formation. Like, how illiterate do you have to be in a subject to make a statement like this?
I know.
They only care about philosophy.
I was gonna say,
Amy, hi.
Hey, how are you guys tonight?
Oh, we're good.
Or
We're looking-
today.
John Maddox
Do you know
is.
what time of day it is, Amy?
Say that one more time.
I was wondering if you knew what time of day it was, because it seems like I'd almost call you vampire, because I only ever see that you start your YouTube thing at night.
Late at night, like real late at night.
I've never seen a daytime video broadcast of yours.
I want to do more daytime streams. Right now, both of my co-hosts, both James W. and Sam, they both get off at 11 p.m. Like randomly, somehow that matches up. And so we kind of created the midnight thing just to set that up. But I want to do more daytime streams, and I'm going to figure that out and then do more daytime streams. So coming soon, but you're absolutely right. We've been Nighthawks.
So, Otangelo just said Leo is going to any nonsense claims made by peer-reviewed papers. So, why was he making the statement that first that there's no scientific literature on how stars form, as if scientific literature has some level of importance, but then disregard scientific literature because I'm pointing out that it's there.
But before you go on, I thought I saw
Oh my God! Look what he said.
A Doubting Thomas chat that said "fake Otangelo." So I don't know. Maybe Doubting Thomas can make. For some reason, he thinks it might be a fake Otangelo.
Oh,
I don't think it is.
could be. Let's see.
And before you start again, I just want to make a comment, and this is not towards Maddox. This is towards creationists in general who challenge basically the entire community of master's and PhD programs. If you want to change the science, get your butt in a lab, publish a paper, and actually try to change the minds of the people that matter.
Right.
Stop trying to quote unquote look down at people, because they always do. I don't know why. Smokey has this, Maddox has this. When they try to explain these subjects, it's like they're trying to teach the PhD people. It is a very, very interesting outlook. We'll put it that way.
But Amby, don't you know that all of academia is a conspiracy against the creationists? They spend all of their time thinking about creationism and how they can foil them with their atheistic lies about evolution and science.
See, now it makes all sense. It's a massive conspiracy.
That's right. I know. I got my second microchip back during my vaccination today.
Oh, see, I still got to get mine.
Oh, look at this. Otangelo. Oh my God, the shit he's been saying. It's just unbelievable. There's no way to unite particles. Neither hydrogen nor helium in outer space would clump together. No gas on Earth that clumps
I am
together
actually now
either.
starting. I've been seeing a couple of these comments, and I am starting to think this actually might be a fake Otangelo. Like,
really?
No, because like when he was talking about how stars can't form, I think the last time Otangelo mentioned that he cited from his CATS board. This guy hasn't. I haven't seen a single CATS board link.
Okay, maybe because
No,
he couldn't possibly
he doesn't have a wrench. That's what it is. I just looked in the YouTube chat. That's why
I took Otangelo's wrench away.
So I suppose this could be, but I didn't remember Otangelo being that illiterate. Of
even Otangelo couldn't be this dumb, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's just.
So I don't know. You know, that's
the real Otangelo would be very flattered, because they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Like nobody comes in here doing a fake Scott account
And
because I'm
really,
my personality.
and if it really is him, we're actually giving him more credit than him being himself. Right?
True. True.
Yeah, if that's really him, I feel sorry. I feel
Okay, let's all vote on this. Put a 1 in chat if you believe that it is fake Otangelo, and 2 if you think it's the authentic Otangelo. So 1 for fake Tangelo, 2 for off Tangelo.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Okay, then 1.5 if you're undecided.
I have to get registered to vote.
You have to get registered. You have to
tip
what?
your waitress. It's a bad joke. I'm here all night.
Okay, I got you.
You know, I always tip servers and stuff, even especially the delivery people lately. But
okay, who's telling? Who? Okay,
it looks like it's even. Oh, Vesta's she's I guess wanting to go both ways there.
Really?
The 3.
I understand that.
I think 3 means it's like Otangelo, but he's been taken over by the spirit of of Hugh Ross, somebody who knows space numbers.
Wow, you have 28 people watching now. That's pretty damn good.
Woohoo!
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh my god.
People watching. Well, I've gotten 24, 25, 26 people watching my live streams, but not my premieres. Fucking bastards. None of these bastards on this fucking channel watch it.
We try.
You talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about my premiere last night. Not a single one of you motherfuckers.
I watched it. I even liked it.
Yeah, you watched it while it was premiering? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
That's why. But you didn't say anything in the chat.
Well, you're right. I didn't because I was watching TV and I can't do that. I like it on the big screen, man. You deserve big screen.
I would have watched it, but Immutable was at the mall and I was tracking him because I've got a chip in his phone. So I didn't have time to get over there. I mean, if Immutable had been on the stream, I would have been there because I would have been tracking him. Harwood determined, okay, I'm going to have to give him his rent so he can put the paper up. Okay, Harwood has a whole bunch of papers on star formation here. I don't know what he's talking about.
Have you heard of Harwood, Leo?
I never heard of Harwood. M. Harwood.
Also, I would like to know in the opposite direction how their mechanism for star creation happens.
Magic.
I'm picturing a big hand. I'm picturing a big hand in outer space reaching out, scooping up a bunch of hydrogen and squeezing real hard till it goes poof.
See?
Sort of like a magic show for all of the angels.
Now we're talking science.
The stuff that he's saying that Harwood is mentioning are no, that's.
Yeah, 3 billion years. Yeah. So, well. It would only have 6,000. Go figure. So
do they think the stars? Do they think the stars are angels too?
I think so.
Who knows?
Oh my god!
Why do they use the video camera through an atmosphere to see it all do dancing and stuff?
Yeah,
color changing.
3,300,000 papers that mention star formation. So I don't know.
Think about how many songs mention stars.
Yeah.
I think that's a more important question.
You would.
Well, I'm thinking about it. Amy, what you got going this weekend on your channel?
Well, we have a 7th or 9th. We have a skeptic Bible study coming up on Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. We're finally about to hit that chapter.
There's music to go with that.
Woo-hoo, that's true. We should do an entire musical event. And then I eventually want to do a stream on consciousness. I've been procrastinating. My consciousness has been procrastinating it, but I want to do my intro stream to that so I get to rant. And yeah.
And you're going to invite me to that, right? by mail?
Absolutely. You are all invited to that.
Okay.
And Leo, I am gonna go.
What?
I think I'm subscribed, but it's this whole new bell thing. In fact, not only should you, what's the new channel? Should you like and subscribe to Answers in Atheism, but you should hit that bell and make sure you get the all button so that you get all the reminders so you can be here at live streams or at Leo Filius's premieres.
But you only get them on your phone now. They don't.
Oh,
They
really?
used to send an email, but now they only do it on the phone. So I got to keep checking my phone if I want to find out. So let's see. So 19 hours ago, Dr. Eigenstate explains. Let's take a look at that and put the URL for you
I could have
kids.
sworn I got an email for a notification of a.
Every now and then they'll send you a notification. I never understand what the
Maybe it's
formula is.
Legacy Den or something. Maybe they quit doing it, but
So where was this debate that Maddox did an after show for happen last night?
It's an after show for James Tour's crazy series that he's doing, a 13-part series to take down Professor Dave. And so he did like a live stream on that. So what is it called?
I thought there was like a debate or something.
No, live stream, live after show. Professor Dave gets annihilated on abiogenesis. I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure. No, this is going to be epic. Dr. James Tour had enough punks like wannabe Professor Dave saying he doesn't understand abiogenesis chemistry. And anyway, so he's going after Professor Dave, James Tour. He's got five videos up already.
They
And
really do have this obsession with abiogenesis, even
oh
though
my God.
the entire billboard, if you could say to creationists, they would say evolution is not true. Now let's debate abiogenesis. That
Yep.
would be the entire billboard.
Yeah, they have recently, like since probably last September, October, they started to become obsessed with abiogenesis.
What do you
And
mean? Dude, creationists, or in specifically like the likes of Otangelo and Maddox, the idea
no, creationists
I think
everywhere.
creationists
The whole
have been
thing.
obsessed with abiogenesis for a lot longer than the past
for-
several months.
But not as focused as they have been.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
this group, but can remember debating numerous people on Pal Talk back in like 2015 on this
Oh,
exact
hell
topic.
yeah. Yeah.
Like these people have been hammering abio since the 90s, maybe in the 80s.
And my point would be not even more the time period, it's why they're doing it. They're doing
Yeah,
abiogenesis just.
It's the
What were you
same.
gonna say, Leo?
It's the same reason that a lot of creationists and apologists focus on the origins of the universe as well, because these are two
Exactly.
areas where science knows the least. So it's the biggest gap to stick their God into.
Yep.
I don't think Otangelo is an artificial intelligence. I think he evolved naturally. I don't know, but I'm an evolutionist, so
That's true. Well,
I-
natural intelligence came first before artificial intelligence. We like
Yeah.
to we're so obsessed with AI and computers that we like to put the cart before the horse, but code it natural, it's not actual real codes because they're obsessed with that with the word code. But natural codes arose first without a creator, and then we created artificial codes. That's why they're
Right.
called artificial. But they forget that. They want to gloss over that.
Yeah, they have it backwards. Intelligence
Exactly.
basically created this idea that what the fuck, that intelligence created life. Weird.
Well, the argument is
It's
really
a bit in
funny.
the loop.
It is, and the reason why is if you really take a look at the whole abiogenesis can't work, therefore God argument that's been floating around, is that they're essentially arguing that, well, we've never observed intelligence create life, therefore life was intelligently designed.
Yeah.
That's fundamentally the argument. It's self-defeating.
Yep.
they also argue from it's hard, it's
hard.
complicated.
And it is. I read the section 2 of that paper for the second time today. Got a little bit deeper and started to look at some of the papers that are attached to it. And oh my God, one would have to spend a lot of time on this. I think I need to get back to ribosomes and population genetics. I don't know. Just me.
Well, yeah, you have to sometimes just, pick a topic and stay focused on that and not get too deep in other people's topics. I mean, like us going over the paper on air.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but if you're trying to really get detailed self-education into one particular topic like that, yeah, you're definitely going to have to choose
Specialize.
choose your battles.
I don't want to. I want to know
What are you
everything.
reading these days, Amy?
I'm thinking mostly about how crazy cuckoo the Old Testament is. That may be off topic, but my gosh, after going through a literal interpretation of Genesis 1 and 2, all I could ask is, really? This is what you guys are putting forth as science?
You know what, Cafe? I'm just gonna level with you, buddy. This comment right here is like based as fuck.
I kind of like Ellen Watts.
It's a good quote, is what I'm saying. I like it, actually.
I like it.
Ellen Watts was a great atheist, and Kafai thinks he was like some kind of a God believer. But Kafai with Ellen Watts is exactly like Joel is with Einstein. He keeps insisting that Ellen Watts was a believer in a God. And if you read Ellen Watts, you won't find it anywhere in his stuff. It's all psychology.
So Nathan, over there in the corner, I was just wondering, like, why you've been locked up because of the Texas ice and snow. Have you been reading anything interesting? I gave him plenty of warning. He must have stepped away.
Yeah, he just shows up, so his icon is here, and then we think he's here.
Yeah,
but he's really out, fucking around.
Oh, well.
He's probably at the mall with a mutable.
I just thought it'd be cool to find out what everybody's reading and stuff these days.
Well, I can tell you. Oh, wait, Liam.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been thinking a lot about and reading about a lot about split brain patients and just the two different sides of the brain and how they seem to process information differently.
You know who you should have a conversation with? And maybe you already have? Shannon Q.
Oh, I would absolutely love to have her on.
In neuroscience. You have a Twitter now. Just add her at Twitter and tell her that you'd love to have her come on your channel, talk about, some neuroscience, some split brain stuff. Yeah, she knows all about that stuff. She's like that, like how I am with physics. So, but she actually does have, I think, like a bachelor's degree in psychology or something like that.
Really?
Cognitive science, or it's something like that.
So yeah, Amy, I heard this thing about language, and the left side of your brain processes, ordinary language. The right side of your brain appears to process swearing and emotive language. And so they have people who have damage on the left side of their brain, and that's all they can do is swear. And
really?
When I was a little boy, our neighbor had a basically disabled, like 30-year-old, and that's all he'd do is sit around and curse constantly, right? Well, then I think it was V.S. Ramachandran that said he had a patient who had damage on the right side of his brain in the temporal lobe in the language area, and he could not swear.
I have temporal lobe epilepsy. It's part of the reason why I'm so obsessed with consciousness. But yes, sir. And my joke is everyone always gets serious, but I'm like, no, it's fine. I pass out. You guys have to deal with it.
Right. So when you come out of it, do you have a spiritual feeling ever? Have you ever had like a spiritual experience?
I'm going to give you guys all the weird feeling that I have. So the onset of a seizure for temporal lobe epilepsy is deja vu. Now, That is creepy as fuck, and it is. It feels like I get ready for basically the world to collapse, and I go on my bed and I hold my Gatorade and I just sit there. But we have it mostly under control. I had a seizure on I-95, if anyone knows where that is, and walked away with it with only scratches in my eyebrows because thank you, science, seatbelts.
Wow.
But we got it under control. And ever since then, along with probably the ayahuasca and all that, my journey, my obsession has kind of been consciousness and artificial intelligence and all this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, to add on to that, my obsession has been intelligence itself and consciousness as well. So
I'm interested. Everyone always talks about IQ, everyone blah 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 blah, but I'm more interested in just what G is, just like what general intelligence is. If we're ever gonna be able to recreate a being, I think we are, that's gonna have a G and maybe even an emotional intelligence. That would be interesting. So.
I mean, if nature can do it, what's stopping us from doing it?
Exactly.
Well, we have to hook up a body to the thing, and we have to train them just like we train children.
I don't know if I mentioned this before, but scientists did manage to get with two artificial neurons to communicate with a mouse neuron. So it's possible.
Oh, this looks good.
I did want to comment on something that's going on between Icarus and Cafe.
I'll check that out, Top Dog.
Spinoza believing in you can be an atheist of sorts and believe in Spinoza's God, because the closest type of God that Spinoza's God comes to is a pantheist God, and pantheism is actually generally classified under non-theism, because theism is generally defined in terms of classical theism, and pantheism is not classical theism.
Yeah, Kierkegaard, or whatever the fuck his name is, I can't pronounce it. He's got some good videos, but obviously watch more. Obviously look at other stuff besides that video.
And let me get just to talk one more time, because I saw that comment on temporal lobe epilepsy with the mystical experience. It's just interesting in a conscious manner. My epilepsy is different from my dad. My dad has epilepsy, though it's supposed to be non-genetic. He got it from an accident. I just got it. I just developed it at 28. He has, when he comes out, he has grand mal seizures. It starts that way. And when he comes out of it, he has no idea who he is, where he is. It's like he has to relearn who he is every time that he comes out of a seizure. I'm not like that, because it seems to start that. I have had mystical experiences, but to me, it's just a very interesting. Every time that I came out of a seizure and I wake up and the doctor, they do this test and they ask you, and this was so painful during the last 4 years. The first three questions are basically, what's your name, who are you, and who's president? And I was like, I'm Avi Newman. The date is whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm crazy.
Have you ever watched 41st Dates?
Yeah, and I'll check that out. I'll check out the
movie with Adam Sandler and.
Did you just say 40? Did you just say 40 first dates?
No, it's 51st dates, and also. So what was it? Temporal lobe epilepsy. I'd be interested in the epigenetics of that, because you did say it was non-heritable. It was non-heritable or whatever, but for some fucking reason you inherited it.
I know exactly. The weirdest thing, is it a complete coincidence? Can an accident be passed on via sex?
Here's the thing, and Speed could probably explain it better, but they have done studies where they've shown that some people who went through a famine had epigenetic changes which affected which affected their descendants. So somehow the epigenetic changes do affect other generations. It's just luck of the draw, I guess.
Or it could have been windmills.
That too.
That's true. that damn windmill cancer.
New
Or the
topic,
Jewish
new
space
topic.
lasers.
There's this one kid, and he and his father, I think, did a documentary. But every time he has a seizure, he has a spiritual experience, like a grand mal
Really?
spiritual experience. Yeah, and I think it depends on where exactly the seizure originates.
Mm-hmm.
There's
That's
probably
probably
a certain nucleus, and so everybody's going to have a variable experience. Who in the hell is crunching stuff?
Immutable? Oh, wait, Immutable's not in here.
He's not here. I don't know who's crunching stuff, but anyway, probably Scott.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ, Scott!
I told you I'm an unprofessional non-personality.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm. What the hell is even drawing on the
We
screen?
don't even
I
know
don't
what the fuck you are at midnight. I'm not. Oh, I don't know. You drawing Rotangelo? I'm not sure what we're drawing here today. We're drawing something.
Looks like
Oh, it's
fucking
like Ruby Dog.
So Amy, are you familiar with what the fuck's his name? Oh shit, I forgot his name. I always forget his name. Society of the Mind. That guy.
Sounds familiar.
The guy that got in trouble with Epstein posthumously, and his wife defended him. But anyway, he was a great AI researcher, and he wrote Society of the Mind. And hang on a second here, I'll find
You know, Amy, if you're interested in anything about AI, I suggest Life 3.0.
Marvin Minsky.
Sure.
You familiar with Minsky?
If you guys could also type that, I am typing that. I feel bad. What were you about to say?
Are you familiar with Marvin Minsky?
Marvin Minsky. Maybe.
Okay, so Marvin Minsky wrote a couple of books, I think The Emotional Brain and Society of the Mind. He also famously got into trouble when back in the 80s, he said we'd have AI within 10 years. We'd have, artificial humans within 10 years. So everybody concentrated on that. And they ignored his brilliant work that he did. But Society of the Mind breaks down how a mind starts to understand reality from, the moment you pop out of the womb. And Minsky gets into it because in just utter detail about how you understand space, objects, different concepts.
Pete, I'm going to become like you and buy another fucking book. Stop me.
By Minsky. Definitely.
And
That's what I'm doing.
This is good because I have a bookshelf, but then I have basically a separate one just for AI, the mind, and consciousness. So if you guys have
I would
any
love
books,
to see your
please
bookshelves.
just send me that.
By the way,
Sure.
in the side chat, it's Life 3.0, which I still gotta get to, but Life 3.0 by Max something, and then Speed's book, which I just added to the list. Good God, I have so many books to read. I still have to buy bookshelves.
I'm gonna get a mobile camera and go and scan my bookshelves one day. And scan my neuroscience section. I got three 12-foot shelves. So.
Oh, Max Tech.
Leo brought this point up in the last podcast I was on. I feel that a lot of neuroscientists are shy about it, but I actually think we know a lot more than we let on. I feel like it's just that these neuroscientists aren't getting in debate channels, but it's the unnaturalistic, because the supernaturalistic to me is a politically correct term. The unnaturalistic consciousness and all this stuff, it all comes from the creationists. It never comes from the scientific community. Let's just say that.
There's very few scientists that speak from a perspective of dualism. God, what's his name? Eben Alexander is one. So he's not really taken seriously in the field much anymore.
See, my problem with mind-body dualism, I'm sorry, I feel bad. I just cut you off. My problem with mind-body dualism is that the mind is definitely hierarched under the body. They just constantly want to put the mind on this friggin' pedestal. Right. But I'm sorry, the mind is here for a job. Your body was here for, metaphorically speaking, ancestral-wise, the body was here first. We can see this because there was single-celled organisms and then multi-celled organisms, and not even all multi-celled organisms are conscious. In fact, most of the branches of multicellular organisms are not conscious, but they.
Well, I mean, that depends on how you define conscious, right? Because if there are some slime modes who seem to exhibit consciousness or sentience or whatever the hell you want to call it. Box. Interesting.
So I will grant you, because I have good, in my opinion, good set out definitions for all those words. They could have maybe proto-like consciousness, or they may have some features that act consciousness-like.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let me try again. All I am saying is that all I'm saying is that our consciousness had to have come from somewhere, right? So you pull the various consciousnesses, whatever the fuck you want to call them, together, and there you go. You get us.
And I think I know where our consciousness came from. I think consciousness came from an arms race. I think it came very specifically that plants came first. They had, we all had the mitochondria explosion, or whatever you want to call it. After mitochondria, plants had a third symbiosis event. They have chloroplasts within them. So they actually have three different sets of genes in all their cells. So they just are sitting there chilling, playing defense, and can just relax. That left basically that left fungi and conscious creatures. And fungi and conscious creatures were related similarly, and we do the exact opposite. Fungi inject all of their stomach acid onto the thing that they're breaking down. We do the opposite. We collect the thing, put it in us, and then our stomach acid breaks it down.
To add to that, you mentioned our consciousness, came from an arms race. That's actually a funny way of putting at it, because there's a book that I've read called The Curiosity Gene that explores the emergence of curiosity, which is obviously tied to consciousness.
So okay, I'm gonna look up that one too.
Wait, you got it already, or did you write it down?
I'm actually googling it right now.
Oh, the title's a misnomer. The Curiosity Gene. Obviously, there's more genes involved with that, but it's a good book.
Oh, I like that holes and parts.
What are you doing to me, man?
This book, somebody photocopied it, and he's just
conflicted compromise. Okay,
he gets into all these really, really interesting, like he gets into the brain and reality at a very low level that you would have to get into it if you were to design an AI. So he's got all these little.
When did this book come out?
This was, I think, back in the 80s. I think.
Yeah, back in the 80s, before they knew they knew as much as they did about genetics.
Yeah, but they don't. But they know he knows a hell of a lot about AI and about what you need, like destructiveness. So he goes through all these different things that you learn. Then here he gets into how the self develops, and that's all based on parts and holes.
I need to step up my game. For fuck's sake, I need to read more books. I need to step up my game. Cool.
And then self-control. I mean, this is basically development from the womb to 1 year old. And he's got another book called The Emotion Machine, I think. And that one is equally remarkable. It's pretty cool. And I strongly recommend looking at this, because when you start thinking atomistically about what we have to learn in order to be in the world and operate in the world as toddlers, as 1 and 2 year olds, or even raccoons, it's an incredible amount of information, and he gets into basically how it's put together.
And and also I've always had this intuitive thought that in order to navigate around the world, right, the brain needs to come pre-installed with spatial awareness, but
it's not.
Well,
it's not pre-installed. If you were born into a universe where space behaved differently, you would adapt to it.
Well, the point I was making, right? The baby. Never mind. Move on.
Well, I just wanted to say it is interesting. I think there is a reason why we have to nurture our young for a good year when, some deer fall on their legs and have to run away right away. We seem to have this process where we are teaching them basically memes. We're teaching them culture. We're teaching them how to walk. We're teaching them all these things where they would die if we didn't have this pre-period. I'm trying to think what to call it, this nurturing period. But there seems to be that they do have a learning period.
Yeah, the thing is, a deer can it's born and it can actually wobble up, and get on its feet and wander around and bump into things. But like deer and cattle, I've noticed them staring at things intently, trying to figure them out. And I don't think they really get a lot about space. The only thing that they need to figure out is that not to bump their heads on trees. But humans have a whole lot of things we understand about space that allow us to be humans, basically. And raccoons, too, and cats, they have a tremendous... cats do this thing where they will look before they leap, and they plan their leap. And then they do this incredible acrobatic thing, right? And squirrels do that. Raccoons have an amazing ability to manipulate things mechanically like humans do. And they have to learn all of that, but I don't think they're born with any of that. They're born with enough to get up and walk around and not bump they probably bump their heads right away. But
I think we're born with the equivalent of the operating system, or what I would call the mind, but then it has to be filled with stuff. So it's great that you have Windows, but it's like you have a brand new computer. Now you have to put programs on it.
Yeah. They may have like a higher plasticity where they can imprint memories more quickly, like the deer, so that the first time it bumps its head, it somehow its brain is rewired so it doesn't bump its head again. But then the other thing, that some of these really fast developing animals are born on a prairie where there isn't a lot of things to bump into, and all they got to do is walk and find mama. So I mean, how much do they really need to know in order to be a deer toddler? But there's a whole lot of interesting research that one could do on stuff like that. But that always fascinated me, is that humans, are probably born with this totally messed up idea about what the world is, totally almost a blank slate. Even I hate to use that term, but whereas deer can, stand up, and how in the hell do they do that?
Well, yeah, I think the prevailing theory is that we're born essentially early. Everybody's essentially premature because of our big brains. We have to be born early because I have a size 8 head, and let's say I was born with a size 4 or 5, that would kill the mother bearing me.
Yeah.
And so you just
they actually talk about it in the book that I mentioned, The Curiosity Gene.
Yeah, in fact, speaking on that, because sometimes creationists will say, why don't we have these giant brains, or why don't all these other creatures? Because it is really what can fit through the birth canal without killing the population.
Yep.
We have fairly large brains, and because of that, a lot of women die in childbirth.
Yeah.
I was born like a week late in C-section.
Really? I was a preemie. I was going to kill my mom. So.
Yeah, they C-sectioned my son because he couldn't get through the birth canal, and my grandson was a vaginal birth, but his head was beat up pretty bad. They finally had to pull him out with calipers or whatever they call them. But
I was born like 16 days later. Late, I should say.
I was born at a good time, Average.
Yeah, December 2nd, minus 16 to the math. I don't know.
Leo's like, I was also born. Good times.
No.
You know, the Christians think that women had 30 to 40 children.
What?
How did they do that without any possibility of dying during childbirth?
Yeah, they don't really understand what the fuck. Because if we go with the 6,000-year-old Earth,
maybe they had tiny heads.
Who knows?
I don't know. Who knows? Anyway. I was thinking about that yesterday, the thing where, oh my God, who was it? John Sanford. He was on James Tour interviewed him, and he actually showed a graph that he said was scientific evidence, starting out with Noah living for 950 years, and not Noah, but Moses, and then Noah lived for 300 years, and then Shem or something like that lived for 150 years or 170 years, and he had a graph, and he was showing the genetic entropy, and then he showed his genetic entropy graph, and they were all just exponentially decreasing graphs, pretty typical graph, and he was making the point that look at this, we actually studied this in the lab, and we found the same graph as he found in the Bible, and he was calling this scientific evidence. And this is John Sanford, their prize PhD geneticist, talking about finding evidence in the Bible. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
well, darn speed, I was about to show my my demonstration from Spider-Man comics how we all have superpowers. So never mind. I will just not show that.
Well, there is a New York. So, I mean...
That's true. That's one strike in my favor.
Never know.
Wait, what's in New York?
Well, there is a New York. Therefore, Spider-Man could be real. There was a Bethlehem. Therefore, the Bible's real.
I like ham every Sunday.
It's true. I am not religious for bacon reasons. So, big...
Yeah.
I like ham. Though, shout out to my vegetarian friends.
Well, we can't forget the vegans, or they'll bitch and complain.
I had a bacon salad last night. I made a salad out of bacon, sprinkled with lettuce garnish.
It's like I tried to make a salad and it came out a hamburger.
Yeah. So when we make BLTs, we cook 4 pounds of bacon, me and my son, 2 of us. And I put about my BLTs. In fact, we're going to have those tonight. Have about 6 inches of bacon on it, and then I just put both hands on the top slice of bread and press down until I compress it into this bacon slab. That's a BLT. I love it. I'm trying to find James Tour.
Okay.
I can't believe listening to Sanford. Oh my God, that guy. I
cannot listen to these creationist videos without putting it on 1.75 speed.
Well, the PhDs, you would expect a little more from them, right? And they come up with the same stupid shit that Maddox comes up with.
They come up with things that are stupid.
And it's just their evidence for a 6,000-year-old Earth starts with the Bible, and starts with this something in Genesis. You probably know about this, Amy, where they add up the dates or the years.
This numerology nonsense.
Yeah, and they come up with 6. So that is their evidence. There is absolutely no evidence. And the flood. If you were to go out into the wild without the Bible and you never knew anything about the Bible, you would determine that the Earth was 4.5 billion years old and that there wasn't a fucking global flood.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
That and prophecy, because I have people coming to the channel and they want to give the evidence of this number, trying to add up the dates and saying, or trying to come to us and being like, isn't this COVID and stuff? I would say it is the most painful apologetic. You know what? I'll take that back. Presuppositionalist is the most painful apologetic, but this is second.
Yeah. Numerology. I don't know.
It just feels like you could take that for any book. I could go into the Lord of the Rings and be like, I can go here, here, and here, and be like, see, Samwise was telling us we have to kill our children. Well, that escalated quickly, but it says it right here in this book that we added the numbers up to.
There you go.
I'm sure Amy's gonna have a busy weekend reading all those books.
You know, I thought I was really hesitant to do a Bible study because I was like, is this going to be really, really boring?
Yes.
And as soon as we started changing all the names, it just, we get a lot of fun out of that book. And sometimes the book is just funny when it's not trying to be funny. The different euphemisms they have for sex, like the Bible has like 4 or 5 different ways in which they tell you people are getting it on.
But Amy, it's written by God. Surely God would not add humor in it.
I know God will not be mocked. By the way, this guy seems to have seen his dad's genitals, and I guess we gotta kill him.
There's just so much in the Bible that's just why
the rules were totally different then. That's for sure.
Right.
Amy, you have Discord at all?
I found it.
I'm just getting into Discord. In fact, I think I have a Q&A with a Christian channel at 7 p.m. today. I think they're Christian. They have Matt Slick as a mod, so I'm going to assume so.
Matt Slick is a presuppositionist. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Here's my tag if you want to add me.
Or I'm learning that.
Wait, you're having a discussion where?
I think it's called the Reformation channel. I don't know. They contacted me. I'm just learning Discord. I feel like a boomer when I'm on Discord. It's yes.
You're a boomer. I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. Well, let me tell you something funny. It's always the generation skipped that's against each other. Right now, it's the boomers versus the millennials. But let me give you my prophecy of the oncoming fight. The oncoming fight, it's going to be Gen X versus Gen Z. I'm calling it right now.
Okay, man, that'll be tough. Boomers will all be dead from COVID.
Hey, Top Dog.
Huh? So John Maddox's theory about COVID is that it only affects old people, so it's okay. So it doesn't matter.
There you go.
So you better watch out, Speed.
Yeah, I know.
So if you Speed, you could have just said John Maddox is a fucking idiot.
He is a fucking idiot. Yeah. Yep, he is. But anyway, here's John Sanford's evidence from the Bible of Noah, of genetic entropy. And the average Roman lives for 45 years. But then he said, because of medical technology, we started living, to 100 again. Kind of like leaving out the part about a lot of people lived into their 80s and 90s in the 1800s. And I don't think it was because of medical technology. It was because they had food.
So let's assume it wasn't Noah and Shem and Abraham and Moses and King David. This graph is bullshit anyway, because you don't compare individuals to averages.
Yeah.
You're taking an average Roman, assuming, of course, that you did a study, that was legitimate. What about all the other people who are dying, around Noah's time? Maybe most of them died at age, 18, and so that would still bring the average down. It's a bullshit graph, even if you stipulated the actual personhood of Noah and Shem and David and them.
And this is just an ad hoc explanation. We know that it's actually we're going up. The people died at 30 back then, not at 950. They are trying to take the crazy position and put it here and just then go out for evidence or then discount sites.
Right. So then he shows his Mendel account and stuff. And he shows that for the H1N1 virus, that they found the same exact curve as they did for humans. So this proves genetic entropy because the curve is the same shape, right? But okay, for the H1N1 virus, he said, they tracked it from, I don't know, like early 20th century, and they saved a lot of copies of it, and they found out that it went extinct. So they had copies of it. But where the fuck did the H1N1 virus come from? Was it created in 1940?
Wait, hold on, Speed. When did you decide to go dark mode? It's nice.
Dark what?
Dark mode on YouTube.
I just went theater mode, but I don't go dark mode on YouTube. I don't like dark mode. I'm sorry.
But the bar is
you
dark.
youngins like dark mode. I don't.
I thought it was on. The bar at the top is dark.
I don't know. Maybe that part. I think I switched back from dark mode, and it kept a little bit of the dark. It kept some of the darkness. Some of the darkness seeped into my Chrome.
Dark mode. Shit.
I don't know. Darkness seeps in. Kids, be careful.
Be a good band name.
Yeah, Darkness Seeps In. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Butthole Surfers better.
Oh, did any of you see the debate last night? Speaking of buttholes, but I'll just say Darth Dawkins debate.
I watched like 30 seconds of the middle of it.
All I can say, because all he kept on going is to eternal. And this isn't my joke. Someone said this in the middle of chat of modern day debate, but this is my new response to anyone who asks me what my eternal is. It's the eternal butthole, the eternal butthole in the sky. And I would like to see how my eternal butthole in the sky differs or gets any different prayer results from their God.
Wasn't Darth Dawkins actually well behaved in that stream? Because I didn't watch all of it.
He was. Well, Mark is a very generous guy, so yes, he didn't get triggered. What my big contention in that debate is he refused to go off his script, and Mark's not a troll. That's where at least my 25% of trolling would come in, because listen, buddy, I get it. You asked the question. What is your eternal whatever? Mark said, I don't know. Let's go on. They spent 45 to 50 minutes in a debate against Christianity versus atheism. And do you want to know when Jesus's name came up in that debate? Because I was listening. It came out about at the hour mark. So
I was going to say 3 hours later. I was going to make them right by you.
Almost. But yes, he couldn't get off this eternal. What is eternal? So the answer, everyone, is the eternal butthole in the sky. So thank you for inviting me, Speed.
Nice.
Yeah, by the way, like I said, Amy, if you want to add me on Discord, my chat, my tag is on the side.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Top Talk, for adding me.
So in the chat, okay, Otangelo and is still going on about stars and how gravity doesn't affect gas.
Doubting just keeps spamming. Well, not really spamming, but just keeps pulling the same quote.
And then Otangelo threatens to block him one more time if you post it one more time. But anyway, this quote is absolutely fucking precious. That gravity does not act on gases. Otangelo 2021.
Okay, you know what we need? We do not a soundboard per se, but an archive of Otangelo quotes.
Oh my god!
We can call it our Otangelo catsport of quotes.
Because the atmosphere floats, obviously gravity doesn't work on gas, right? Because the air is floating. So obviously, Otangelo, get the fuck out of here.
There's been so much stupid from him today that I don't know if that's actually the real.
Yeah, I don't know. It can't actually. I don't know. Maybe it is.
No, I think it is the real one. Not grass hole, unless somebody actually made one.
Okay, if you're the real Otangelo, send me an email right now from your email account and tell me it's really you, Otangelo. Because I don't believe it. I don't believe you could be this goddamn dense.
I mean, have you met him?
I kind of did, yeah. Unfortunately, No, he can't possibly be that. Nobody can be that. Well, I heard Maddox say that. Oh, I don't believe all the stars could form just perfectly with fine tuning.
Dude, have you been ignoring Danny? Because he's just been in the chat asking for the link like 3 or 4 times over the last 10
Danny? Oh, fuck no. I never ignored Danny. We love Danny.
Really? Because it seems like you've been ignoring him. He's been asking for a link, apparently.
Well, I'm not reading the chat really, guys. I've been missing a lot.
Well, you see, I saw that, but I thought, well, Speed will let him in when he's ready. So apparently,
after the second time that he asked, I was like, okay, is Speed just not getting this? Is he not getting it?
Okay, Otangelo, prove you wrong. Get a barometer and go outside. That's all you fucking need. And there's your proof. It's Danny, our favorite philosopher to beat.
Did you see me talk to James Carter?
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw you were in the stream, but I didn't hear any of the conversation, no.
Yeah, they were asking you about ABio, I think. They were trying to get you to commit to something?
Well, I think that they asked me how I would respond to the sheer improbability of
yeah.
And I just said, okay, well, let me just level with you there. Like, it's highly improbable, but what is it? How does that commit me to saying therefore God or something? I forgot what I said exactly. I had to be very careful.
Yeah, you had to be careful. I noticed you danced around the whole issue pretty well. Dancing Danny, I call it.
Because like, I don't want to trigger anyone in the room, number one, and I actually want to be persuasive. I don't want to simply give it. Like, I could give an excellent argument against all of it, but I kind of wanted to be convincing because those two are not mutually exclusive, right? You can give a really excellent argument for something, and then no one accept it because you sound so goddamn.
Can I say something really quick? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, Danny. I think Amy wanted to say something first.
Well, no, it's just I find the abiogenesis question, and I'm gonna say obsession / fetish, just so weird with creationists because all of the evidence, all of the good evidence leans towards a naturalistic explanation.
Oh, wow, there's a real Angelo.
We have all these. If you try to explain to them subjects like the band around the sun that the moon, Mars, and Earth are in, that could all have habitable life. If you try to explain why carbon, the circumstellar habitable zone, exactly. If you try to explain to them why water is such a weird chemical and how carbon, as Jon Stewart loves to joke, is the slut of the periodic table and makes more bondings with any other chemical combined. If you
I never heard that. That's fucking
good one.
True.
That is, and so if you go through all these reasons why life had a good reason for arising over this, they're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's talk about genetics. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll just say fine tuning.
Fine tuning.
Yeah. Fine tuning argument is so funny because the universe just straight up isn't finely tuned for anything.
So Danny, were you taking a little shot at me there? Was that I kind of missed part of it.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't? I thought you were taking a
No.
shot.
I just wanted to say that anyone, that anyone who, you said anyone who responds to you was triggered, because you said I don't want to trigger anybody, but
yeah, I didn't want to, like, I remember who was in the room. There's all sorts of people in the room, and I didn't want to say the quote unquote the common atheist talking points. You know, it's like a landmine, right?
You fucking right that is. You get yourself booted for that shit, man. You say talking points. Yeah, fuck, you're out of here, man.
Hey Nathan, I'm so jealous of your artistic talent. I gotta get. Jesus, so much to do. What the fuck am I doing in here?
How's your laundry?
It's done, actually. Thank you.
Shit.
How are you managing being on your own now?
It's nice. You know, I still need help buying groceries because I can't drive. But other than that, easy peasy. You know.
I'm sympathetic. I couldn't drive for a year. It was.
Well, I'm legally blind, so.
Oh really?
All you need is Google Maps. Just learn where the roads are. Get in your car and fucking,
Hey, speed. Are you? I can't.
I drove without glasses for years and years because I knew where I was going.
Yeah, but speed. The difference is I'm legally blind. You're not. What the fuck?
But I was
telling me to get in my car.
According to the state of Minnesota, I was pretty fucking blind, so I shouldn't have been driving this. But I knew where I was going. I mean, if you know where you're going, and those big bright white things and those big bright red things, don't hit those. And then there's those big bright green things that hang above the road. Follow those.
And Kathy took it out.
That's all you need to know.
Kathy took it out of my mouth. Get it. Eventually, there's going to be self-driving cars. That'll be where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but here's here's the thing about that, right? Does a self-driving car still still need someone that knows what the fuck they're doing in case in case the autopilot doesn't work, in case you have to do manually.
Oh, they're gonna have a trolley. They're gonna have a trolley problem. Eventually.
You laugh. You actually laugh. But what was it? Was it in my marketing class or philosophy class where they actually brought it up, right? Like they brought up this argument. It's like, well, if a self-driving car kills somebody, is the programmer, can the programmer be what?
Yeah, programmer liable. Yeah.
Yeah, the programmer liable is their intent. I was like, no, the programmer programmed it to do whatever the hell it needs to. It's not the, you know what I mean? It's.
So what if they have a decision between a toddler and a boomer, and Ted Cruz is in charge of regulating the programming of the car? So which way is it going to go? Is it going to kill the toddler or the boomer?
It'll go wherever Cancun is.
I was just about to say.
It'll go Cancun.
I did want to say something. I'm waiting for Otangelo to actually speak so that we know it's really him and tell us how gravity doesn't act on gases.
Yeah, tell us how gravity doesn't act on gases.
Well, can you guys hear me?
Holy shit, him! Oh
Okay, Leo, let me quote that for you. Paul Davies, how biofriendly is the universe? There is now broad agreement among physicists and cosmologists that the universe is in several respects fine-tuned for life. This claim is made on the basis that existence of vital substances such as carbon and the properties of objects such as stable long-lived stars depend rather sensitively on the values of certain physical parameters and on the cosmological initial conditions. So rather than to laugh on me, everyone should laugh
to do with gravity and gas?
Yeah, well, it has to do because Leo just claimed that the universe is not finely tuned for life, and that is utmost stupid.
No,
but it's not finely tuned for life.
So all the parameters that govern the universe were invented by humans. They're the abstract conventions that we use to describe the way that reality works. They do not prescribe the function that reality has. But you can't really make the argument that the universe is finely tuned for life because you don't believe that the natural world acting all on its own can produce life. You believe that it requires an intelligent designer. So how could the thing that can't produce life on its own be finely tuned for life?
Because it is a requirement even for the universe to exist, Leo. And you claim that you are specialized in astronomy and astrophysics and that kind of stuff, and say such stupid things. That's just ridiculous.
I don't say that gravity
everyone should laugh actually on you. Well, show me a science, rather than calling me stupid and everything else. Anyone here should show me a science paper which confirms that it's actually possible.
How can it be finely tuned for life if life seems rare? If life is rare,
not only that, Otangelo says that it is impossible for the natural world to produce life on its own. So how could the natural world be finely tuned for the thing that it can't, it's not physically possible for it to produce?
And that's a loaded question.
Gravity, speed. Why? You're gonna stir him off. Knock it off.
What? I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. This is not my quote, but the universe seems to be more finely tuned for black holes than it does seem to be for life.
Hey, can I talk to Otangelo for a second?
You have to give me $2. Actually, no, $5. Go ahead, Thomas.
Woo! Oh, this is getting sexy.
Otangelo, I proved you wrong, and you blocked me, and I never called you a name.
Yeah.
And
I
tomorrow,
I warned you, and I said if you would continue to post that phrase, I would block you. I warned you, and
Why?
you just
actually
keep
said
doing
okay.
it, so
Okay.
I blocked you.
actually said.
I mean,
I
it
understand
was
that.
that you did it to ridicule me. That was evident. That's why I said stop it or I block you. So
Wait,
you continue doing it.
Hold
so I
on.
blocked you. Easy.
Let go next, please. Let me go next, please. Otangelo, I ridiculed you because you need to be ridiculed when you say something like that. That is factually.
Prove.
I did. I proved it to you in the chat. Otangelo, do you know anything about boats?
So posted.
Otangelo, do you know anything about boats? Propane is dangerous on a boat. And do you know what
does that have to do with star formation? I want to see a science paper which confirms that stars can form
I
by
never
gas
said
clumping.
anything. Otangelo, I never said anything about star formation. You
But
said
that was the topic.
gravity.
That was the topic.
You said gravity does not act on gases. And that's demonstrably, factually wrong. And it's been shown to you by me and another gentleman in the chat. Two different ways. Tomorrow you're going to repeat the same thing.
In regards of star formation, I said that. Okay.
No, you didn't.
And yes, I did. If you see the context.
No, you didn't. You made a statement. You made a statement.
And I say, so I correct myself. I said it in context of star formation.
Okay, so Otangelo, does gravity act on gases?
The thing was,
Otangelo, does gravity?
That's very much a close-ended question he just
He
asked.
asked you a question, and you're going to have to answer the question.
I say it again. My sentence was
okay.
related
No, you're going to have to answer
formation.
his question, or you're going to have to leave. One or the other.
He
asked you a simple yes/no question. Okay, you left. Fine.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, Jack.
So he's not willing to make that claim.
He's not willing to fucking answer a yes/no question when that's why you can't deal with this guy. You can't reason with him. He won't answer. He's got to go to his cat's board, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I was actually eating while this was going on. I'm getting other stuff done. And I stopped to make something to eat, and I was just eating when Otangelo came in and he made this complete nonsense claim, and then said that the opposite position is stupid. So I have to address that if that's okay. Can I do that, please?
Yeah.
Okay. The universe is not fine-tuned for life. Life would have had to have been here before the universe in order for the universe to be fine-tuned for life. Life came after the universe, regardless whether you believe a creator did it or nature did it. Either way, it is life that is fine-tuned for the universe, not the other way around. And if you understand evolution, then you understand how life was fine-tuned for the universe, not for the whole universe, because it isn't in the whole universe, but for the part of the universe that it had to inhabit. Also, if you create universes, for example, cellular automata universe, you can find lifelike activity in all kinds of different universes, and all of that lifelike activity is fine-tuned for that universe. The universe wasn't fine-tuned for it. You can pick the numbers at random. You can randomize the what kind of a universe you've got, and still end up with stuff that has lifelike behavior, that has computational irreducibility, that passes in a lot of ways for life, even though there's nothing resembling our biochemistry. And it will always be what works in that universe, not what works in some other universe, but not that one, because life that would work in some other universe, but not that one, won't work there. It's that simple. The universe isn't fine-tuned for life. Life is fine-tuned for the universe. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna head back out of here, and I'm gonna turn back on my audio on my browser and hear what you guys have to say, and thank you for letting me in to say that. I appreciate it.
Nice meeting you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
And I just wanted to say, I feel bad. Antangelo, if you feel like coming back in, don't just deny how stars form. Tell us how you think stars form. Don't just sit here and deny us. Be like, oh no, here's my Yahweh star formation model.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to say another word to Antangelo until he answers the question, does gravity act on gases?
Yeah,
I'm going to ask him that question every single opportunity I get until he answers it. And until he answers it, I'm not saying another thing to him. Because if he is not willing to concede on that.
Yeah. I mean, he has to at least be honest in his reasoning. I think Leo froze mid something.
What?
Anyway, there's only so much Antangelo I can take when he does stuff like that. And when he goes off and starts reading long quotes instead of answering the question. And basically, he's not being honest. I mean, at some point, you have to be willing to answer a yes/no question, and then go on. I don't know.
And I know I've said this before, and I'm sure we all recognize it, but you'll notice that Antangelo rarely makes his own arguments. All he does is provide quotes or quote mines or cherry-picked citations, and he'll just literally repeat verbatim what they say without ever actually developing and defending his own argument based on them.
I'm going to have to give him a wrench again so he can post the Harwood paper that he's talking about that claims that stars can't form because of gravity or something. I don't know. But Harwood does a whole lot of stuff about star formation. So I don't know who Harwood is. I wonder if we could do a little research and find out who this man is. Anyway, boys and girls, what's next?
So Harwood was on Star Search. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he was on Star Search.
Okay.
Yeah, constantly. He's got like thousands of listings. So.
Yeah, that's the kind of humor you're going to get around here, Amy. Sorry.
Yep, that's especially as it nears 4:00, which is
Boomer time.
Boomer time. Boomer has to
I
go
will
outside and
take
get the mail. Huh?
every dad joke that I could get. It's okay.
So I'm going to do a poll here of our, even our audience, our chat people could tell us, what is the restaurant that old people are known for going to in your area? Here in Texas, it used to be Luby's. Was it Luby's? Yeah, I think it was Luby's.
The correct answer to the question is Country Kitchen Buffet.
Country Kitchen Buffet, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that because I don't know many old people. So
well, it's basically like an early buffet.
In
Do you guys have
Minnesota,
Oh no.
in Minnesota, it's Bacon's Are Us.
Bacon's Are Us.
You have a Bacon's R Us?
Bacon's
I want
Are
to go
Us.
there.
No, he doesn't. I don't know what he's saying.
No,
and my
but we
dad's
could.
obsessed with Bob Evans.
Bob Evans. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
random.
to go to a good sushi bar. That's what I like. I don't know. And I'm a boomer, so. Or a
Sushi's
good steak place. I like steak.
Who doesn't like
Ooh.
steak?
We have this
Favorite food.
Outback Steakhouse.
I see a hometown buffet.
So you can't really do buffets right now. Or at least it's hard.
I haven't been to a buffet in years.
My favorite is porterhouse steak stuffed with bacon, wrapped with bacon, and grilled.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
No, the bacon.
Does the chef have to be wrapped in bacon too?
Does it what?
Does the cook have to be wrapped in bacon as well?
That helps. Yeah. And the steak sauce is made out of ground bacon.
Wait, you have to use steak sauce when you eat a steak?
Ground bacon. Steak sauce, Yep. I put it in my Ninja blender and make steak sauce out of my bacon. So.
What about Louisiana, Danny?
Yeah.
As far as famous restaurants that everyone goes to?
That old people go to.
Crawdads.
We have something called Piccadilly.
Oh, shit.
It's like Luby's.
I think my brother brought me there in Texas. What do they serve?
Luby's?
Literally, it's just like Luby's. I mean, like I can't differentiate them very well.
Piccadilly. What do they serve?
You said it's
just like if it's like Luby's, it's going to be like I don't know. Cafeteria, like nice cafeteria food.
I don't know
Golden
what a Luby's
Corral,
is.
that's one. Yeah, Golden Corral, and then it begins with an F. I wish Nathan would come to the microphone because he might be able to help me, being from around Texas.
Well, here all the old people went to Baker Square until they tore it down for some reason. They tore it down after COVID killed Baker Square, but Baker Square has fucking pie, lots of pie. That's
pie.
Yeah. Old people.
Yeah, and the good places also have the ice cream. The free ice cream for dessert or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, they have free pie on Wednesdays at Baker Square until they tore it down. Now they don't anymore. Go figure.
Dim Sim.
Okay.
That's up there in Canada.
So Martin Harwood works at Sonoma State University in instrumentation and astrophysics. And I'm pretty sure he didn't say that stars can't form. I'm pretty sure he didn't say that. What do you think?
I would say A, either he didn't say that, or B, he's considered a crackpot by his own colleagues.
I believe he does something with Sonoma State University. What is Sonoma?
I don't
know. It doesn't sound like, I don't know.
Look up, bub.
Astrophysical concepts, NASA. So Harvard. Oh my God.
Harvard. Thank you, Eric.
He's from Harvard.
Sorry, that was just a bit of nostalgia.
What's this guy's first name?
And stereotype.
Martin, I think. Martin Harwood. And he's written books on astrophysics, and he's got a whole lot of papers on star formation. But according to Otangelo, he proved that stars can't form. I don't know. The growth of astrophysical understanding, physics today. What else? Harwood astroconcepts.pdf. That might be interesting.
If he was the guy saying stars wouldn't form, there would be something on that somewhere, and I'm not really seeing it.
Yeah, there's really nothing on that. It's just something Otangelo pulled out of his ass.
PBS Space Time at one point where they did talk about some point where gases have to overcome, the repelling effect, I guess. Basically, where one force of gravity the four basic forces. What are they called?
Strong interactions, electromagnetism, weak interactions, and gravity.
Yeah, one of them has to overcome the other at a certain point, but there is a certain level of gravitational pressure that they're put on where they can come together like that. Does that make any sense at all, Leo? Am I making any sense?
To me, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I understood what you're trying to say. Yeah.
So
Martin, as long as one person does, I feel okay.
Martin wrote some books. Let's see if I can make them bigger. Oh my God. Let's see. Oh, am I on? Oh, I'm on Thrift Books. There's no danger of me hitting one click on Thrift Books. So anyway, he wrote these books: Astrophysical Concepts, Cosmic Discovery, something Space Museum, In Search of the True Universe, Transform Optics. What the hell is that? An Exhibit Denied. Lobbying the history of Enola Gay. That's interesting. Anyway, so he wrote some books.
Why would you have to lobby history?
I don't know. I don't know. He must have been obsessed with the Enola Gay. Wasn't that a nice name? That was the name of an airplane, right? A nice airplane?
Yeah, that dropped one of the bombs.
What a nice name for an airplane. I mean, you got to hand it to them. They were trying to be sweet about it.
Sure.
Credit where credit's due.
Okay, now earlier, before I asked those questions about food, the restaurants, Jerry Penna wanted to know more about Danny's discussion.
Oh yeah.
So, Danny, do you have anything more to say, or I'm sorry for rudely interrupting you if that's what I did.
No, I just, it was kind of a blur of a conversation though, because I like Argotha, but he's bent on converting me back. I mean, it's just like oozing out of his speech.
He is really excited about you. I listened to him after you left one time, and he was talking about how you're right on the edge. You're savable.
But you see, like, I think he's mistaking like my sympathy for like Christianity and theism, and I guess I don't know, like the nice conversations that we have for like being close to his belief system. I mean, I feel so far away. That's the sad thing, and so I don't feel like it's like difficult to talk to him now because he thinks that like it's like the progress is there when like it's just not. It's not even close. You know.
Don't you feel the Jesus seeping in though? A little bit every time you talk
Let's
to him?
keep telling yourself it's Jesus until you believe it.
But I don't know.
Calling today. I'm sorry. See, I'm a unprofessional, untalented, non-personality.
Have y'all experienced something like this, right? Where like you have a Christian that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Nephilim, I think, for a while was he thought he had me going, and yeah, I've got a lot of friends that try this shit. My mom used to.
Your mom, yeah.
My entire life she spent trying to, Mikey, are you still an atheist? It's like my whole life she asked me that.
Just checking in. Are you still an atheist?
It really bothered her because she valued my opinion in all other matters, you know? So
My dad called me and was like, I have bad news for you. And I was like, wait, I was like, oh no, you know, and then he told me about the Ravi Zacharias stuff. And I just didn't, when I heard about that, I didn't even blink, you know, like it just doesn't matter to me anymore.
Ravi Zachariah?
Yeah, he's a Christian apologist, a pretty famous one.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of sex scandals.
Oh,
and, you know, and
you thought he was gonna tell you that he had terminal cancer?
Yeah, something like that. And then he, you know, his favorite Christian apologist, you know, ends up being like a pervert or something. Yeah. And I just don't even blink, man. Like I don't know. I don't.
They could find a chamber under Billy Graham's house that he used to live in before he died, full with skeletons of women that are like chained to the walls that they just never knew to check on because he trapped them and abused them or something. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
The way things keep turning out with these Christians.
They had the Billy Graham Institute, I think, was based here in Minneapolis. Some big, and they have like a Billy Graham insurance company or something that's still hanging around. I don't know, but he had a lot to do with Minneapolis for some reason. I always felt kind of embarrassed about that.
Was it the same Billy Graham?
Yeah.
He sold insurance or had an insurance company.
Yeah, they have an insurance company. It's I forget what the
fire insurance.
I don't know. Yeah, heaven insurance, your soul insurance. You can insure your soul or whatever. Yeah, there was some. I would have to check, but yeah, there were some dealings, and I think what the fuck? There was some other weird stuff. Dear Abby, are they connected? I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was embarrassed for Minnesota. Also, Sanford went to school here. I'm embarrassed about that. The University of Minnesota, and so did that. What the hell? The guy that wrote the Biotic Message book. I forget what his name is. I got it over here somewhere. But anyway, they all from Minnesota and they left, which is good. They went down south, which is really good. We send all of our best down south to Louisiana, hopefully.
Where the black stump grows, or the black stump.
Yep. So we're losing focus, guys. How much do I got to pay to get out of here?
I mean, we could have a fight with Danny. I don't know. Just kidding.
Yeah, then it would run for another 3 hours. I'm going to get a super chat so I can pay $20 super chat to myself to get
get the fuck off the air. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel good about getting out of here. I would feel better if
you're a quarter of the way there.
I had to pay. Yeah, only one quarter, 250. I crossed 250. I fought for that 250th subscriber. I fought for that for a week. I pissed somebody off, and I went down. When you guys did those streams that I took down, I lost 2 subscribers.
I thought Danny was agnostic. That's what someone asked.
Cafe.
Yes.
Yeah, I just responded to that. For practical purposes, I'm an atheist because I give arguments against theism.
Yeah.
So, wait, you say you're an atheist to give arguments against theism, but when you what?
Yeah, that's what I mean when I'm an atheist. That I give arguments against theism.
But agnostics can do that.
Yeah, you do you, boo.
Yeah, but that's why I said for practical purposes. I mean, the point is that I think I'm going to get to a point. Well, the point is that I'm going to get to a point. The point is that at some time, I'm going to probably not hold any positions. I think it's just going to be me arguing against things, and that's kind of the end for me.
If you get far enough into philosophy, that's where you'll end up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that I'm just not going to take any positions because it's all overwhelming.
Yeah. I'm overwhelmed. It's Friday. Oh, we have a thing at 7:00. A thing.
What are you doing at 7:00?
Dessel Drace. And
you can just call him Drace, right?
Yeah, I know. I call him Dessel or Drace, or I could call him Dessel Drace, or I call him Sir Dessel Drace. A lot of things I could call him.
When you want to be fancy.
Yeah, I don't want to be fancy. Call him Sir Dessel Drace or Professor Dessel Drace. Anyway, we're going to talk about philosophy of science, and we're going to talk about abiogenesis, and I forget what else. There were a few other things.
Have you decided if it's going to be live on air, or are you just going to talk and not record?
I don't know. We haven't sorted that out yet. I gotta check my email and see what he's got to say. Oh, there he is. Oh shit! I got an email. Okay. Han Kern paper. Oh, we're going to talk about neutral theory, Kimura's neutral theory. And Kimura's neutral theory pretty much matches. The interesting thing is they had a lot of genetic information back in 1970, 1980, and they got it from protein sequencing, which they were quite good at back then. And a lot of what Kimura did with neutral theory was based on what they found in proteins, which was interesting. But his theory pretty much matches my idea of what all of that non-conserved DNA does for evolution. Anyway, we're going to talk about all that, and who knows what else. Oh my God.
A lot of layers.
I think he's going to fight with Immutable about Nick Lane's, metabolism first model for abiogenesis. Yeah. And I'm going to fight with Immutable because Immutable, I don't believe in Luca, like the last universal common ancestor, as being a single individual cell. Mm-hmm. And I think Immutable does. I believe in a last universal common population. I do not believe there was just one cell involved.
I mean, wasn't there like a bunch of cells fighting for dominance on the prebiotic Earth?
Eating each other, fighting for dominance, ingesting, spitting each other out, and but it was a population, and I think the population evolved, not the individual. So I don't think there ever was a last universal common ancestor. And Sal Cordova famously cannot fucking get over that. He thinks that right there disproves evolution and proves creation.
You know what we need? We need a fucking time machine to go back in time and watch the Earth form and see. That's the only way we're gonna figure it out. Watch, we're gonna go back in time and find out that the planet was seeded by aliens. Everybody was wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't God. It was aliens.
We'll find out God did it. That would be cool. I'd be like,
I don't think you could in principle, though.
I'd be like, I didn't see that coming.
You could actually go back in time, and no matter what you saw, you wouldn't be able to know that it was God.
Well, in the Futurama, it was a forward in time machine.
Well, if you actually showed up.
That's what I was about to say. I am looking for the deity to give me a handshake. If it cannot give me a handshake, then we're just going to chuck the all-powerful thing away.
Or just pat me on the head and go, nice try, nice try. You know, okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, there's this whole thing they say. You know, if God's so powerful, why didn't he? If God's all good, why did he create the world the way it is? If he was a good designer, well, okay, here it is. So it makes the universe make sense. If you envision God as the, is the kid in class who was slow and he couldn't figure out how to make a good universe. Like, you know what I mean? He's a shitty designer because. Whatever. I was trying to make a joke, but it obviously failed.
Oh, I know what you mean.
No, he would have been a shitty designer. If this is the universe, then, and if this is his designs where we choke because we have to use the same hole to breathe and eat,
yeah,
designer.
Yep.
I wonder if Immutable's actually going to show up. Is he still out in the chat, floating around? Immutable, if you are, come on in here for a minute so we can discuss something.
Beautiful. Should we all leave?
No. Yeah, me and him just yell at each other. I yell at him about the mall, and he yells at me about being a boomer.
But you are a boomer, and I'm a millennial, even though I hate that. I was born in 1984, so
I told you
I missed them all.
I'm 70 now, so I'm a flopper.
Wait, you were born in 1984?
Yes.
You're only a millennial by one scale, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's 1987. Used as 1986 to 1999.
Oh.
I was right on the edge of that boomer.
So when does boomer end?
Well, when you die, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean, what year? What is the cutoff for birth? It's got to be like 1965 or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 1965 or 1964, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I was born in December of
49 and 1964 or something.
I was born December 2nd, 1984.
November 6th.
Well, define born. I wasn't born per se. I was an alien. I was dropped off on a spaceship, according to my family, anyway.
After World War II, like 2.5-3 million people died. So they all came home and they said, you know what? We got to replace some fucking people. And they had me.
Yeah, the baby boomers.
Yeah. They had me. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're a product of the Soylent generation.
My grandpa had 13 kids. My dad had 7.
Damn.
I had 3.
Wow.
I have 0.
My sons have 0. Fucking kids. Fucking kids today. You know?
Was it worth having kids? Because I have to consider in the next couple of years.
What's that?
Is it worth having kids?
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, if my kid's like you, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, okay, but if they're like you, yeah, you got a point, Danny.
Danny, you imagine telling your kids to clean the room, Danny?
Midnight, I just have to ask, what the fuck is your problem? I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, I've been rather cordial to you the last week, and you're just like sniping constantly. I'm just curious. I'm not even angry. I'm genuinely confused.
Who are you talking to right now?
Midnight.
Oh, okay. Well,
have I said anything mean to you in the last week?
Come on, Danny. I give you more.
No. I'm just curious. No, I'm just curious. Was he joking all the time? I'm not angry. I just want to know what's going through your mind, man.
No, he loves
90% of what I say is a fucking joke, Danny.
He's following my lead.
No, I'm not angry.
This is why you are a millennial. I got the joke.
Jeez, Danny, a little sensitive today. Maybe you should get some sleep at night instead of sucking John's dick all night.
Or just get the sand out of your vagina.
No, I'm not convinced that he's joking though.
Okay, well,
Midnight's always joking.
Do we need to have a private stream so y'all can work it out?
Yeah, you guys want to get a room?
Because I really want them to work it out if there's a problem. Because I don't want my little fall
It's
apart.
just like every time, like every
Excuse
like
me, I'm
hour
gonna.
he does it.
I need to get my tissue.
Okay, I joke all the time. I joke with Leo. I joke with
Me.
Yeah, Speed.
Yeah, but I
Scott,
just don't. I mean, y'all believe him, I guess, because you know him or something.
Yeah.
Because it just does not seem like he's joking.
Okay,
No,
well,
a lot
fuck
of
you.
things
Don't
in
blame
life
me.
seem like the things that they are to you, Danny. So
Damn.
this is
Damn.
Look at this. Two guys with who I think are more alike than they want to let on. Or
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, Scott, fuck
Isn't
off.
this how best friends start, right? They start fighting and then they make up in the end and they just become best friends.
And they both have an interest in philosophy.
Yeah.
And now we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Good times.
Great analogy, Amy. That's the best analogy I've heard all week.
So wait. Am I Falcon? And is he the Winter Soldier? Or am I the Winter Soldier? Or is he Falcon?
Oh shit.
You have to roll for that
You
one.
could be Batman and Danny could be Robin.
No. He could be no, not even Joker because it's. I don't know. You know what? I'm just fucking with you, Danny. Relax.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I'm. What makes you think I'm not relaxed? I was just genuinely curious.
You don't seem relaxed, Danny. How's the paper coming, by the way? How you doing on the paper?
You're muted, Danny. You're muted.
Is it bad, Danny?
I was just curious. I mean, I'm fine. I just woke up. Maybe that's why it sounds like I'm crabby, but I'm just genuinely curious.
Are you going to share those Cheez-Its with the rest of the class?
No.
No.
Let's see. What else is there? Nice chair, by the way.
Yeah, I bought it mistakenly. It's a buyer's regret.
Oh yeah, one of those
buyer's
gamers.
remorse.
Buyer's remorse? Is that
Yes.
the phrase?
Buyer's remorse. Yeah.
Why don't you like it?
Well, I regret it and I was a buyer.
What do you mean by buyer's remorse? You care to flesh that out to me?
What did Nathan say?
No, that's my Danny impression.
Oh. My twins bought $2,500 office chairs, both of them together, and one of them has had back problems ever since.
2,200?
2,500.
I didn't even know you could buy a
I'm
chair.
trying to, was it for one chair? $2,500 per chair?
Yes.
What do they have in that thing that's worth $2,500?
Backaches.
Not only back rubs, but like
Okay, I hope he doesn't. He never watches my stuff, so I feel real bad. I haven't suggested that, Dylan. Maybe it's a fucking chair. You know, maybe it's your high priced office chair that's killing you. Actually, I think he got rid of it and he ended up buying another chair for less, but not much less.
$500. That's insane.
Oh, those fuckers! They buy the most expensive everything that they can find. I raised them right. I did good. Now they gotta work their asses off to make enough money to keep their lifestyle up. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's how I instilled a work ethic in them. I never made them do chores or anything. They didn't have to do a thing when they were kids. All they did was get entertained, and they came out with this like real strong work ethic because I spoiled them so badly that they have to work their asses off to keep up the lifestyle that they were raised in. So I'm a good dad.
I mean,
Terrible.
generally, when you spoil somebody, they don't work. So you did a good job anyway.
Yeah, the whole thing about spoiling kids is such fucking bullshit. That came right out of the boomer world. I mean, that is such bullshit.
Damn.
Well, you say that.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Speed.
Are you? Good.
Well, you say that, but many people, many millennials nowadays have been so fucking spoiled that they don't want to work. So it depends.
That is true.
I don't
don't
think that statement is true. If I'm being honest, that this whole millennials are lazier and they're all entitled. I don't. See
Not
that.
all of them. Not all of them, Leo. Obviously.
I don't even think it's disproportionately higher to other generations. I think it's just a straight up myth. In fact, I would argue that the millennial generation is probably one of the most productive generations currently.
So Drace gave me a whole bunch of homework, so we're gonna have to end the stream pretty quick here.
It's
Because
just
not
What's
all
he
of us
arguing?
wrote up well.
What did he give an argument against for Dino Dapper and all of that? Is that what did he do?
Dapper Dino and Erica were promoting Popper's falsifiability to as a solution to the demarcation problem, what real science is and what it isn't. And Drace has a problem with that, and so do I. Intuitively, I have a problem with that. I've always had a problem with the Popperian criteria for science.
Well, there's like falsificationism, and then there's like falsification being just one of the virtues.
One of the tools, right?
Right. Yeah. Because like you can falsify all sorts of things just by walking into a room, but are you doing science? You know?
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
science is a fuckable lot broader than that. So I better
Yeah.
mute.
It might be, yeah.
I gotta mute so I can staple my.
I think
What?
to me, it just needs to be like a necessary condition, not like a sufficient condition for science. But I'm not so sure.
The way you said that, Speed, was just weird. You said, I have to mute so I can staple my. And then you just cut off because you muted. It was just weird.
I have to. Okay, I have to
hide the scream. It's okay.
I have to staple my dick occasionally because it keeps getting loose.
But what was Dressel's? What was his argument? What was his like? Can you summarize his point or no? Is it too long-winded?
I thought I staple my papers. Okay, stapling your dick. We do. This channel does not condone stapling dicks.
Is there a way you can summarize what Dressel was saying or no?
He did a video on it on his channel. You could go check that
Is
out.
it short?
Huh?
Is it short?
It's pretty short. Yeah, I think it's about 20 minutes, maybe something.
I'll
like
look
that.
at it.
Yeah, and he really made a lot of strong points with references and a whole bunch of other stuff, I think. So anyway, so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about this
What
ABIO.
What time is it?
7
on?
p.m. Central, and we're
Can
going
I-
to do it. I think we're going to do it live. So.
Can I call you after the stream?
Oh Jesus! I have a lot of homework to do, but yeah, we have a short call. Yeah.
Yeah. Just 5 minutes. Does it?
Okay.
It'll last 5 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna end the stream because we have completely fucking lost focus. So, Leo, what do you have to say?
What?
Yeah, we're ending the stream.
Science may not have all the answers, but religion has none of them.
Right. And for me, goodbye, cruel world. I like that.
Bye.
I can't find his YouTube channel. What do I search?